Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Saturday, June 4th, 2016. My name is Rich, and with me once again this week is Bijan. How you making out?
Doing great, man. The season is finally upon us. I'm so excited. And what a great episode, right?
Oh my god, it was fantastic. And I was a little worried after the All-Star Special. Like, how do you come back from that All-Star Special where they had the supersized warp wall and all this other stuff? But we had like all kinds of new obstacles. It was a really great course. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what the city finals look like.
Yeah, dude, like the course was on point. Just the more important thing is the stories were on point this particular episode. I was really shocked by that. The vignettes, they really stepped up their game. They actually had really interesting stories. They were a lot more edited down, so it wasn't like 3 minutes of some boring, sad story. Like, they were actually quite interesting, right? Save for one, we'll talk about that later, but those horse trainer abs, And, yeah, but, dude, it was a great start, great stuff.
Yeah, and actually, you kind of fooled me a little bit, I have to say. So, you didn't spoil anything for me because you did go to the finals course, so you know how this all ended up beforehand. I thought for sure Jessie didn't make it through. I really didn't, and I don't know what it was about it, but I think it was the fact that you talked about her interacting with the fans so much and not being kind of grouped up with the other ninjas. I thought that meant that she hadn't gotten through. The only thing I can think of that made me believe that. So I was really surprised and really happy to see that she did make it. So we'll talk about that after.
You thought she was like shamed into the corner, or something, like you're not part of the cool kids anymore.
No, I thought she wasn't as busy, right? Because she didn't have to run the course. So she was just whatever. I'll go talk to the fans with Brent. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I fooled you.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. So that was great. And that was our first, we'll get into it later, but it is kind of cool that this is the first time we've had two women qualify for the finals.
Hey, good point. I didn't even think about that.
We got a lot to talk about. Even besides the premiere, we had a lot going on this week. So we're going to cover the premiere, obviously, because that's the big topic. But we're also going to talk about an article that was put out, the top 10 most powerful American Ninja Warrior moments. We're going to talk about, there's an obstacle design contest. We have some Lego Ninjago ANW crossover. There are some digital exclusives, some new videos from behind the scenes of ANW, and that's everything. But that is a lot to cover, so we're going to get right into it. All right, and actually I didn't mention, so the first thing I actually want to cover is some missed shout-outs from when I was in Philly. So I talked to so many people, and I don't know if you guys could tell, anybody that's listening at home, but Bijan and I were kind of written off on this last episode. We were not in any shape to be recording, but we did it anyway. So I missed some people that I wanted to talk about, and some minor things. Just wanted to make sure we got them covered. So one person I did mention that I was really excited to meet was Jessica Brinton. I talked about Jeff a lot, but I didn't mention Jessica. It was great seeing her there as well. She was super nice, just like Jeff, and watching her with the fans was great as well. And one of the first people I bumped into was actually Allegra Knight, one of our loyal listeners, who was fantastic. I talked to her for quite a while near the beginning, and then I lost her. I don't know where she wandered off to. But Allegra was great to chat with. It was really nice to kind of geek out about the whole thing with her for a while. It's such a different feeling to do that in person rather than, as great as it is to talk to you every week, to be in person with someone and just in front of the course and being able to just both enjoy it so much together. That was great. And the kid that I saw, I didn't mention him by name, and I hope to God I'm getting this right. So Noah, if you're listening, that was great that you came up to me. I hope when I signed the autograph that you wanted more than an autograph. I signed a little more than just my name, and I realized afterwards maybe he just wanted my name, but that was really cool. So Noah, thank you for listening. Travis McClure, who actually does the ANW Fantasy League, I talked to him for a little while. Travis was great to talk to. He really knows his stuff. Obviously, he's gathering all the stats. He knows it better than we do. And the last one I wanted to give a quick shout out to was Ryan Scott, who is one of the course testers and one of the ninjas there. And when he saw me, he called me over and asked me to get a picture with me, which was really strange. And like, we get this backwards, dude. I'm supposed to be asking to get a picture with you. So that was cool. And I'll post a link to the Instagram photo where he just posted that actually up today. So getting down to the meat of the podcast, we actually had an article posted this week, which was really cool to write, and I hope you guys check it out. It is the top 10 most powerful ANW moments. What did you think of the list, Bijan?
I really liked it, man. It was really well written. I very much appreciate the fact that you had videos for every single big moment, because that was really cool. Because it's nice to hear about it, but it's another thing to watch it over again and relive it, you know? The list was very well made. I pretty much agree with almost all of it, you know? Cool stuff.
Thanks. And just to clarify for everyone, I actually wrote this list. So the website that it's on, thrillist.com, reached out to us and asked if we could put together a list for them because, you know, with American Ninja Warrior debuting, they wanted to kind of feature the show, but they didn't. I like that they acknowledged that they didn't really know the show well enough to pick those out and ask for our expertise as much as, you know, I'm a little heavily biased in the modern season, so the list is a little tilted that way. But it was really fun putting the list together. Unfortunately, I had to try to write it when I was on the road. They really didn't give me a lot of time. I was in Philly on my phone. I didn't have a computer with me trying to come up with these entries. So I hope you'll have a little mercy on me if I missed one of your favorite moments. But we will link it in the show notes, and I hope you check it out. Okay, and let's move on to the main event, the season premiere.
So before we get in, like, how'd you feel about the course itself? Like, did you have any particular obstacles you really like that really stood out to you?
Yeah, I really liked TikTok. It was really unusual. It was really, it was definitely very skill based. There was no weird like hourglass drop like chance to it. It seemed like it was just a unique, interesting obstacle. Ring jump was great. I really had no complaints about any of them. I thought the whole course was really good.
Yeah, ring jump really stood out to me. I really, really enjoyed that obstacle. And not just that, it's pairing too. I really like how they laid out the course where they had the ring jump, where it really tested your grip, but you were still fresh at that point with your grip. So it was doable, but it really tested it right. But right after that, they had, oh God, I am the worst at remembering names. What's the obstacle after it?
It's the I-beam cross.
I-beam cross, right. So the high beam cross is like really, really bad on your grip, right? It's like it tests everything. It tests both your leg grip and your fingertip grip. And at that point, you know, both your legs and your finger or your hands are already winded. So that I felt like is a really good build-up to almost a built-in ninja killer. And I really liked how they did that. Overall, the course is great. TikTok, it was just a really cool looking obstacle, and I really like how it did the thing that it should do, where it kind of like weeds out the serious people that can really, really get far in this, and the people that are just decent, if that makes sense.
It does, and I actually really... It's kind of a horrible thing to say, but I really enjoyed some of the failures on it. Like when they would end up grabbing the bottom of it and it was just this whole struggle. It was really interesting. They didn't just drop into the water. I guess it was really, really some epic struggles to kind of regain footing.
Yeah. And it looks like once you're on that bottom, like you're done.
You're done. I wanted to see somebody come back from there so bad, though. I wanted someone to be able to climb back up and get back to where they needed to be.
Yeah, I wanted the Power Ranger to make it up there. I mean, he seems like a really good role model for the kids and everything. I was rooting for that guy, but no luck.
Yeah, he was our first runner, actually. Let's jump right into it. We had Brennan Mejia, the Red Power Ranger. That was really cool. He held on for a long time, but
poor guy.
Jeez, how did he even catch that? Like, it was such a...
Well,
oh my God, it was great.
The crazy part is that he had, like, he was ready and like his body placement, everything was there to catch the TikTok. But at the very last second, he just kicked out his legs from underneath the obstacle, and he had to grab it with his hands. I don't know what happened. It might just be one of those things where mentally, you just check out. I really feel for the guy, but yeah, it was cool that he gave it a try. That I can definitely say.
Yeah, I think he was a fantastic choice for the first run of the season. Like, I think that was everything we'd like to see, right? We've got this guy that, is putting he put so much effort into it, and watching him struggle to get back up on. I thought he was going to. I was jumping up and down like, oh my God, this is the first run of the season. I'm already like jumping off the couch. Like, it was so good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So after him, we had Tori Garcia. She was with the military, and she fell on the backside of the ring jump. She did really well, and just coming down that ring jump on the backside, which looks really tricky. If you jump too far, like your grip better be amazing to hang on.
Yeah, I saw that particular obstacle in person. That's the obstacle that I was seated in front of for a large part, and in person, that drop is deceptively large, and those rings, from what I've heard, are a lot heavier than what they look like. So when you drop like that, you're going at a much harder speed. The gravity is going to push your hands very far down. So these competitors at that point, when you see it, you don't really get a good feel for it. The best way I can describe it is, these obstacles sometimes look very doable. Everybody's like, oh, I can do that obstacle. But you can probably do that obstacle by itself. It's the buildup, it's the accumulation. And that obstacle in particular really strains your fingers, I have a feeling, really hard, to the point where the high beam cross right after, man, I mean, you've got to really gut that out.
Yeah, I really like the obstacle. I thought it was a really good test. And the ones that, it's almost like you could go too far, right? If you were up near the top and you jumped 3 or 4 pegs down, that's it. You were done. You were going to slide all the way down, and no one was going to be able to hold on to that anymore. Not
just that. I mean, if you try to lâcher or like swing too hard, it's also going to screw you up.
Yeah, so that was a great addition. The next run, just kind of get through these people. There's so many people.
Yeah, we need to fly through these things.
Yeah, we need to move along. So we've got Jackson Meyer. He's the Ninja Scout, the Eagle Scout guy. He took his uniform off this time, which I really appreciated. I was kind of awkward watching him run that in his uniform the last time.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that uniform. No offense to Boy Scouts. I don't want to try to say that. I'm just saying, like, the uniform running the course. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it just seemed a little awkward last time. But the guy's got some skills, man. There's no questioning that. He did really well. I thought he was really smart to move the rings forward. We saw a few people do that later, where they move the rings up a few and then they reach over to the next, and rather than transitioning immediately, like actually using that ring to help them get further down the other side.
Yeah, we'll see that used quite often later on. It's a really good tactic, and this is one of the things where I appreciate where a lot of the athletes learn from other athletes, and they adjust the technique, and it evolves over time.
Yeah, he ended up going out on the I-beam transition. I really like his interactions with Christine Leahy. I thought they were pretty funny.
Those are always fun, man. Definitely keep an eye out, everybody, for a little quip that he says in her interaction. It's
you caught that too. Okay, so that wasn't just me, because that was not good.
I thought it was great.
It was great, but we can't discuss it on our nice, clean podcast.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, and moving on, we had this is the guy. We've got Chad. Is it Sorrells, I guess?
All right, I gotta ask, like, they play this guy up like he's like an Adonis and stuff. Is this guy supposed to be attractive? Like, no offense to the guy, but I'm like, is this what we're calling like heartthrobs now?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was maybe it's a guy thing, right? Like, we don't know. We have no idea.
I get, but like I can see Rob Moravsky. Like, I can understand that kind of stuff. You know, for me, like if you're gonna throw a heartthrob, like, you know, do like JJ Woods or something. You know, like. Do something like that. Like, what? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But But boy, that damn vignette video. What the hell was that? Like, the whole time I was staring at the TV with like a side eye, and I was just like, bruh, really? Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my eyes rolled so hard, I'm surprised you didn't hear them. It was really, really over the top. Intentionally, granted, it was really over the top on purpose, but it was too much. It was way too much.
Yeah, just all that. And the problem for me is that later on in the episode, they skipped over some people that completed the course. And that's where it comes back to this, where I'm like, did we really have to have this long? Especially for the fact that he fails on the first damn obstacle. A part of me was giddy because I'm like, yes. Like, this guy was literally making me miss Rob Morosky. I'm like, where's Rob Morosky? Can we get that guy back? At least, he, like, actually does well in the course somewhat. Like, what the hell is this?
Well, that's funny because that was my only problem with him. I actually burst into laughter. I thought it was the funniest thing. When he fell, I lost it. I was laughing hysterically because of the build-up and because of everything else that went with it. But my only beef with this guy is that I'm blaming him for not having Rob Morosky on, and I wanted Rob on this so bad. Yeah, that's my only beef with this guy, right? Like, we can't just have the best. I mean, I'll mention later one of the guys that got fast forwarded. I was really looking forward to, actually 2 or 3 of them, but I will take fast forwards on that for some entertainment, which I thought this guy actually was very entertaining. Probably not really intentionally because I thought it was hilarious.
I will always enjoy this type of comedy and everything. The problem for me is that particular video went way too long. They could have cut it in half and it would have been just as funny. And we could have gone Nicholas Coleridge or somebody.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll give you that. It should have been a little shorter.
Mm-hmm. But them abs. Apparently abs. Do it now. Now I know the key. If I'm ever on the show, you're gonna see me with my shirt off because I have abs, and apparently I'll be a heartthrob.
There you go. Yeah. Your long flowing hair will be drawing them all in.
Yeah, not so much that. What is, man? I'll put on a wig.
There you go.
Can't see on the show.
So the next one we had was Tiana Weberly. I was really excited. I didn't realize she was going to be there.
I was ecstatic. This is a cool thing. This is why I appreciated Team Ninja Warrior so much, is that we get people like Tiana Weberly, where we're really, really high up on them. We see what they can do from Team Ninja Warrior, and it's just exciting to see them on the show finally.
One thing I wanted to mention here. So watch back her run. There's a kid on the bottom left of the screen, and he's making faces at the camera. I swear to God, that kid is intentionally making faces at the camera, and it was cracking me up. I had to replay it back.
Jeez, I didn't notice.
Yeah, go. If you look at the her friends and family on the sidelines, mm-hmm. I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, so if you get a chance, take a look. I'm going to feel really bad if that kid just has a funny looking face, but I'm sorry, but that's it. It looked like he was doing it intentionally.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny in my notes, I've got the word first and then no in capital letters right after. I thought she had it. I started writing down that she was the first woman up the new warped wall. Mm-hmm. And then she ended up falling on the I-beam cross. I was so disappointed. I thought she had it.
Yeah, I saw it coming too. It was really sad when you watch it. You can see her fingers start to slip. She has basically 4 fingers and 3 and then 2, and you're like, uh-oh. I really felt for her. I can't even blame the technique. Akbar was trying to blame the technique on it, but I've seen plenty of people do quite well in that technique. It alleviates a lot of pressure in your hands. So both ways of going down that high beam work. It's just, it might be something where she gave it all she could, and that particular technique didn't work for her that night. I got to give her all the credit, though. She gutted that thing out. And I think it was her where Akbar said that she can bench press 200 pounds. Like, that's insane, dude. Like, she's got to be like, what, 120 at the most? Like, pounds? Like, how is that even possible? I can't even bench 200 pounds.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe that. But yeah, I think you're right. It was her that he said that for.
Jeez, man, that girl must be just ripped in person.
Oh, and I'm glad you brought that up about the technique, because that was bugging me all night. They kept getting at people that turned around on that obstacle. That's what they did last season, and they did great. Anybody that was turning around was beating it, right?
Yeah, well, the funny part is that that's the particular technique I would use if I was ever on it, because like you want to alleviate a lot of the pressure from your hands. Both work, obviously, but it all just depends on how you want to dismount. I guess if you're going in that particular way, you just need to know that, or prepare yourself to dismount with a really small ledge space for your fingers. But if you have that grip strength, in your fingers, it's more than doable.
All right, so moving on to the next one, we had Steve Seaver, a veteran. He has an acro yoga studio, which from what I'm seeing online, everybody seems to have one of those now. Am I missing something? Like, does everybody in California have an acro yoga studio?
I'm from
or is
San
that just me?
Diego, Southern California. You can't turn a block without seeing this kind of stuff. So, yeah. It's very, very big.
Yeah, a year ago, I didn't know what acro yoga was, and that seems to be my daily life now, is reading about people doing acro yoga.
We have all forms of yoga and everything here.
All right, so... he was the first one that actually demonstrated the difference in the new wall, because that was painful to watch. Like, what a kick in the pants to be someone who could have made it a year ago with the old wall, and to hit that above that line but not be able to get up the new wall.
Yeah, but I appreciate that. I mean, you can't really get a good feel for the changes with the wall unless you see people fail at it where they would have completed it beforehand. So I appreciated that. It sucks for him, but I think he's still going to go through. And what a great story. He's one of the testaments where I really appreciated the stories and the tight editing they had, because I feel like last season or season before that, they would have like just milked everything they had of this guy's story. But instead, they gave all the good beats, and it was much more concise and much more effective, in my opinion.
So the next guy that took the course was Clifton Graves, or as they dubbed him, Clark Kent.
I don't blame them. The dude looks just like him.
Kind of, yeah. Well, it's a little unusual to run the course with your glasses on. But, whatever works.
Well, dude knew who he looked like. He knew what was up.
Oh, you think he was playing that up?
Yeah, of course. And I don't blame him. I mean, he looks just like Clark Kent. It's absurd how much he looks like him.
Yeah, and it gives at least all kinds of nice comparisons to Superman, of course. That gives him all the kinds of things to talk about. Mm-hmm. But he did really well. But he did get kind of tripped up on the new ring toss and tried to dismount from way too far back.
Yeah, it wasn't going to happen. I mean, I know he thinks he's Superman, but he can't fly like Superman.
Nice. Yeah, so great job, Clifton, but just a little too far. Mm-hmm. And the next guy we had was Nick Hansen, who was our first person to make it up the warped wall.
Yeah, and I'm so glad he did. This guy I really like. I really hope we see much more of him. He has the potential to be a really big star of the show, but not just that, a good representative from Alaska. And, what is he? What's the other part? Oh, my God. Eskimo, right? He's Eskimo?
Yeah, it says Eskimo Ninja, which is, I don't know. I think the state still tends to use that terminology. We don't say Eskimo here.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, is that an offensive term? Is that like calling a Native American an Indian? Like,
well, I think it is comparable to that, but yeah, we say First Nations here.
First Nations. I like that. Well, either way, it's what he uses, so I'll use it hopefully to describe him. Well, I'm not even going to call him Eskimo because I don't like using that term if they don't. He's from a very small village in Alaska, though, which is really cool. I really appreciate stories like this where it's truly the essence of American Ninja Warrior, where this guy literally came from, like, out of nowhere, right? Like, they don't even have roads where he's at. And he still finds a way on this show, represents his nation, his people, his culture, and makes it to the finals. I mean, how cool is that, dude?
Yeah, I remember him from last year. I thought he did really well last year, too. And the homemade obstacles are really cool. And I think he really represents the show well. Like, he is that, homegrown, backyard, everyday person that made it through. I think he's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, fully. And I like how he trains a lot of children as well, and they look up to him. It's really cool.
Yeah, so congratulations, Nick. I hope you did well in the finals. Mm-hmm. The next person we had was Nolan Gardner, And oh my God, that guy was fantastic. He works with autistic kids. He was born deaf, but he ended up getting the cochlear implants, I think it is, at age 3.
Cochlear.
So yeah, he made a huge jump at the end and lost his grip on the rings. So he just basically he just bit off a little more than he could chew on the rings. He just jumped too far, and it was just too much to try to hold on to.
Yeah. Once again, his story was great. These are particular examples where I actually appreciate the producers giving really good stories of people that we can genuinely appreciate and root for.
Yeah, I think you hit it earlier, too, when you said that it was shorter than usual. I don't feel like they dragged on like they have in the past. They were crisp, they were good, they gave us the information we needed, and they moved on, and we got to see lots of runs.
Yeah, that made the huge difference, because even the prior seasons, interesting stories, they were cool, but then they kept going on, and they had too much melodramatic music where it really took me out of it, This season, they've really narrowed down a good, just middle ground of editing, and it just makes the show a lot faster moving. It doesn't seem like dull. The 2 hours went by a lot faster, in my opinion.
Oh, you know what I think was missing this time, come to think of it, is the flash forwards to, and coming up next, Kevin Bull takes the course, and showing all these clips and all the interviews with him over and over and over again. They did a little bit, but I don't think it was nearly as bad.
Yeah, there's that. There's not that, and also the inspirational or anything like that,
Yeah. So speaking of inspirational, here's a segue. The next person that took the course was Natalie Duran, who was, wow, I knew she was good, but I was really, really impressed with her this time.
Yeah, she really surprised me. I mean, we definitely see her training online, and she's got amazing training videos. She's definitely really athletic. I really appreciated her commitment to the obstacles, and she fought for it, man. Big ups to her. I'm really excited for her in particular, because she's somebody you might want to keep an eye out for. I think she can go really, really far on the show.
Yeah, she just made it off the rings. She had a really close call on the dismount, but she made it through. And I thought she had the wall. She was so close. She got her fingers to the top. I just couldn't quite get it. She would have had the old wall, but she couldn't quite make this one.
It's funny too. I appreciate that they're kind of portraying her as the female Grant McCartney. It kind of feels like that in a way.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Now you say that does match up pretty well. And Grant was actually the next one to take the course. His segment was really cute. He's really entertaining guy.
Dude is great.
He's so great for the show.
Yeah, he's so funny. I really like just the small things that he says, where he's like, kids are telling me how to do things. It's you're 6. What do you know? And, just everything about him. He's really entertaining, and he's one of those people where he's just brimming with charisma. Where every time you see him, you're just smiling and you want him to do well. So yeah, I'm so glad that he's on this show, and he did great too, man.
Yeah, he did, and. Man, he came close to falling on the I-beam, but he made it through. Not that I had that much doubt. I was pretty sure he was going to do it. It's kind of interesting, though, when you think about it. He is the one that I think of the most, probably when I think of the fact that these are just everyday people. And, you're going to be going to Hawaii here, and he might be serving you drinks. You might be going, hey, Grant, can you get me another Coke? That doesn't even make sense to me.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's very true. I wouldn't... I wouldn't be ordering him around to get me some Coke, but yeah, I feel you, man. I'd be like, yo, you want to have a shot with me after this or something?
Yeah, it just doesn't seem, it just baffles the mind to me. And yeah, I don't even know how to respond to that, because Tiana stood out too, right? Because she works in a restaurant. I guess the service industry kind of sticks out, because they'll be, they're your waiter or waitress or your, I don't know. It's just weird, because you think of them as being, professional athletes, but they're not, right? They're just everyday people doing really cool stuff.
Yeah. And, that's the whole gist of the show.
Yeah. Thanks for catching up, Rich. We've been doing this for how many years now?
No, I mean, that's why, people appreciate it. That's all.
Yeah. One of the comments that Akbar made, I'm going to have to try to capture that from the show, because I loved it. He's yelling, Grant's running the course, and he goes, You big drink of water. I just thought it was hilarious the way he said it.
Oh, God, I love Akbar.
So the next guy that took the course had probably one of the most interesting backstories I think we've ever seen. This Sean Bryan, the papal ninja, was training to be a priest, but he didn't decide to carry on, but he's still living with these priests and friars. It was really cool.
Yeah. Did they say why he stopped doing that? Or like the reason?
No, I don't think they did, but they did say that he built the obstacles in like the garage or some space that they had without even asking them, and they just said, "Oh, I guess that's okay."
That's awesome, man. You know, I appreciate the fact that this guy is going after his dreams. You know, he's going and he's committed, and not just that, he's still sticking to the people that he's close to and everything. I'm all for him.
Yeah, they kind of showed him as as doing tech support and stuff for them too. So he's helping out. He's not just mooching off of them. He's chipping in and doing what he can to help them out, and they're giving him a place to live, and it's just really, really interesting.
You gotta appreciate the part where like he's working out, and in the background you just see friars like just walking behind him, like in their robes and everything. Like it's amazing, dude.
It's such a strange contrast. It's really cool to see. And he made it through. Like it wasn't just story. Like he had skills. He made it through the course.
Yeah.
And speaking of make it through the course, they fast forwarded a couple of them on us. Couple of the big names too. Nicholas Coolidge.
Who saw that coming? I thought they were gonna like hype him up like big time. You know.
I hope they give him some focus maybe on the city finals. So that might be what they're doing. They definitely have kind of stressed over and over again that it was going to be about some new faces and new, you know, they're refreshing the course, refreshing the ninjas, and so they're going to do what they can to kind of give the spotlight to a few other extra people.
I can appreciate that. Yeah, I can appreciate that.
But once Nicholas beats stage 3, I think they'll have to kind of focus on him a little bit.
Or at least if we're going to do this whole Adonis thing, give it to Nicholas Coolidge. He has the abs or whatever they like. Like, give it to him.
Nicholas was my only... So for the ANW Fantasy League, Nicholas was my only pick from that region, so I was glad to see that he made it through, keeping me alive in the rankings.
Nice.
Ben Mielik made it through too, and he got fast-forwarded as well.
Another name. You know, well, it's interesting, Ben Mielik, because I was actually, like, sleeping on Ben Mielik until the special earlier this week, and then I'm like, oh, Ben Mielik, you know, I got to keep an eye out for this guy, because he actually really impressed me. And once again, I guess I'm sleeping on him, because he got through. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was a good run by Nicholas and Ben, and then next we had Mike Burke, another one of these good storylines, one of the ones that they like to show us to basically one of the inspirational stories.
Yeah, I love this story though, man.
Yeah, he lost his wife Karen, which I didn't see coming at the beginning of the whole thing because it was kind of stressing the fact that he was a San Diego zookeeper. 42-year-old rookie, which is a little unusual to be kind of catching on now. He made a good recovery on the steps. You could see the way he was struggling on the steps. He wasn't going to make it through a whole course.
Yeah,
but,
his technique was way too awkward. You can just tell, he was just doing it, and I don't know. I was happy that we got his story. These are one of the situations where it's almost hypocritical for me because I hate the whole horse trainer story where we have all that story for nothing, but we get this, and I actually appreciate that we got the story, even though we pretty much knew from the beginning that he wasn't going to get very far. I still appreciated the story. So, I'll eat crow with that. It is a little hypocritical, but I do appreciate this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and there have been people that have gotten down on that in the past, and especially, I put out that top 10 list, and I included Michael Stanger's run on there, and I've gotten some people that said, why would you have that on there instead of Brian Arnold's epic run on stage 3, for example?
It's because we hate Brian Arnold, isn't it? All right.
Yeah, that's right. We're totally burying Brian Arnold's accomplishments. No, Brian, we love you. We love you. No, it's because it's part of the show. It helps break it up, for one thing, right? If they had run those in order, if we had watched Sean Bryan do it and then Nicholas Coolidge blow through it like it was nothing probably, Ben Mielik do it, it gets a little old, really. I mean, the course just doesn't look like it's hard anymore. It doesn't look like it's got anything
Yeah.
any reason for them to fail.
Yeah, the whole point of the show is because we see people fail so often that it gives us more appreciation for people that go far. Not just that, it's the old argument between reality show and sport, right? Where if we go hardcore, just straight on at sport, we're going to show every run, this, and we have no context for the competitors, you're really not going to care all that much after a while. You kind of need some of the storylines to actually care. The important thing, though, is that there's a good middle ground. Before the show went too far extreme in one side, and I think this particular season, or at least this episode from what I've seen, they've reached a happy medium.
Yep, I agree. I think they seem to have dialed it back just enough and given us something to watch and enjoy. So, good job. First episode all around, I think. So the next competitor was really excited to see, because I expected to see him actually down in Georgia, because he usually runs in Miami, does he not? Flip Rodriguez?
Yeah, Flip Rodriguez traditionally went to Florida, but it seems like he moved out to L.A. Weren't they saying that with his training and everything?
Probably. I might have missed that.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I just saw on the graphic he lives in Los Angeles, California now. So I guess he moved out here. It sounds like he does. He's almost a trainer now for, what is it, his tadpoles? That's really adorable. I love those kids.
Oh my God, that was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you could just see on his face genuinely that he's so happy training these children as well. That really makes me happy, because he's one of those competitors where we kind of grew up with him, or we saw him almost grow up in various aspects. I mean, we even saw him in the very beginning seasons, and he actually started out in Jump City, Seattle, where it was kind of like an offshoot of American Ninja Warrior in the very beginning seasons. So, we saw this guy grow up from a really introverted kid with a lot of emotional problems and a lot of backstory to now a really confident, happy, adult man that's, kind of training the next generation of ninjas. It's really cool. And I'm so happy for the guy.
Yeah, it's like in the last 3 seasons, we've seen all these different sides of him. I really appreciated it. I loved seeing that he brought the tadpoles. I thought they were adorable. I thought it was a great idea. And it shows that he's confident and he's in a good place right now. And I'm really excited to see how he does this season.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so he made it through. Big shocker. It was funny because it looked like he was kind of going slow, but I think that's just because we're used to seeing him go so fast, because it was actually the fastest time at that point.
Yeah, that was weird, right? I honestly wasn't going to expect him to be the fastest of that at that point, just because he was being more conservative, and I actually appreciate that, because I remember when he used to race Drew Dreshel, how I actually got nervous. I'm like, these guys are going way too fast and they're caring too much about this rivalry, which is fun. It's really fun for the viewers, but it opens them up to make really dumb mistakes. And I'm happy that he's almost found a happy medium. I mean, that's almost repetitious, but it's a happy theme that we have. He's found his middle ground where he knows where he can go fast and where he knows where he needs to take his time.
Yeah, I feel like Joe Moravsky probably has the best balance of that from what I've seen, where he's fast, but for him it seems to be about efficiency, not that he's struggling to go quickly. It's just that he's trying to do the most efficient movements to get through each obstacle, so it happens to make it a little faster.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like David Campbell was the kind of the man that introduced everybody to this particular style, and I think Joe Moravsky is definitely the guy that's aced it and kind of just become the ring bearer for it, pretty much. He's kind of like the master of it.
So we also had a couple of fast forwards in there. We had Brian Cratch get fast forwarded, and he made it through, which was great. And one of our former videos of the week, Gabe Hurtado, who I was really looking forward to seeing his run, but he made it through, but they didn't. He got fast forwarded, unfortunately. I was so happy to see that he made the cut. Although it was fast forwarded, it was really cool. And I'm really looking forward to see how he does in the finals. I have a strong feeling that he's going to do well.
I agree.
And then we get to the main event. We have 2 people left. We have Jesse Graff and Kevin Bull. Jesse, I was really surprised. Like, I thought they were going to do like the typical with her. They love to show her doing stunt work and everything. But no, they show her doing a training montage with her mom.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
that was really, really interesting. And her mom seemed to have some skills. I wonder if she'll end up being on the show.
Dude, her mom did a pull-up. Like, I was messing with my dad the other day. He can't even get like an inch off the ground with my pull-up bar. Like, that woman is amazing.
Yeah, give her another year. I bet we'll see her on there.
How cool would that be if she actually like got far in stage 1?
That would be really cool. So yeah, Jessie, I'd seen like previews of her going through the course and getting about halfway through. So I knew she was going to get at least to like the I-beam cross, but she made it all the way through. She completed it, the new warped wall. Man, she just makes it look not easy, but it's just a whole different level. Like, she's so good.
Yeah, she's really technically precise with what she does. You can definitely tell that she trains on a lot of obstacles. She knows how to tackle particular obstacles the correct way. And yeah, she's great all around.
Yeah, she's going to get to the top of all the things. Like, it's totally going to happen.
Oh, yeah. But no, for real, I think she very much has a potential to be one of the people that we will always remember when we look back, for the people that really kind of just made the whole sport of American Ninja Warrior explode. I think she's going to be one of the people that we're going to look back at.
Yeah, if my money's on any woman to beat stage 1 and be the first one to do that, it's got to be her.
Yeah, I think her and Megan are really locked in key. Especially, I feel like Megan is... I really feel like Megan can do stage 2 really well.
Yeah, I think if I had to choose between them, I think Jessie has a better chance of getting past stage 1, and Megan probably has the edge for stage 2 and 3.
I agree. But with that said, they're both, I feel like, the top of the list for the women.
Yeah, they both made it the furthest last year, and I think we'll probably see something similar again this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I appreciate also that both these women kind of have strengths in different categories, that they're kind of not the same. That I appreciate, too. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, at least lots of fun discussion for sure. And then we had Kevin Bull. I loved seeing him working with the children from the Alopecia Project.
Dude, I gotta say,
fantastic.
Like, the little girl from the Alopecia Project is the star of this show. She was so amazing. I love that girl so much. She needs to be, like, cheering on every competitor from every episode of the season.
Yeah, I mean, the whole story was great. Some people don't realize, I'm glad they brought that up, because I learned it from the Wolfpack podcast, that he lost his hair at 21. It wasn't like he's grown up that way.
Yeah, well, me and him have something in common then.
Did you lose all of it? I think yours is a lot of deliberate choice.
My hair started falling out at 21, but that's nice. Sorry. No, I'm going to start crying now.
You'll be okay. Kevin Bull's shown you it's going to be okay. Like, I think he actually is a really amazing role model for kids in that situation where, like, in the past, like, before he came along, you would just, when you saw little bald kids, you thought of them as being sick. You thought of them as being, hospitalized. But that's not the case at all. I mean, Kevin Bull is a really amazing icon for alopecia to me. Like, he just represents strength and like I don't know, he's just amazing to me.
Yeah, I think he embraces what it truly means to be a role model, because that term is thrown around quite loosely often, especially on television. I understand why, but he truly encompasses what that means, where there are children in a certain situation that truly look up to this man as something where they can be. And it gives them a lot of strength and a lot of motivation to go on. And also just that, a lot of confidence as well. That's why I love that little girl so much, where she's like, yes, work, dab. It's just so cool. And that's the stuff that I really enjoy. And you can just see when he was running the genuine enjoyment and happiness in these children's faces.
Yeah, it was fantastic to see. And, of course, it was the Palm Wonderful run of the night. So it was the last run, and they made it the Palm Wonderful. They better make, I'm telling you right now, I am going to be so angry if they don't make the last run of the night, or not announce the Palm Wonderful run of the night until it's over every time. Do not do this to me. I cannot handle it. I know I've ranted about this before, but I'm going to say it again. It's a spoiler if they don't do that.
It's a huge spoiler, because it kind of just, like, what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, I had no worries of Kevin falling because I knew, Palm Wonderful hasn't gone yet. I wonder if Kevin's going to do well. Not only well, but I know he's going to have the fastest time of the night.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I appreciate they definitely should announce it at the very end of the episode. I feel like that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to watch oh God, I'm going to show my Canadian side here. I'm not going to watch a hockey game knowing who the 3 stars are ahead of time, right? I need to know, after it's all said and done, who do you felt deserved it. Mm-hmm. So that is it for the season premiere.
What a premiere, right? Like, geez,
yeah, that
was a great start.
Yeah, it gives me a really good sense of how the season's going to go. I hope it seemed to match up pretty well with Philly. I don't think that's too much of a spoiler to say that it was similarly interesting, similarly new obstacles, and I think we're going to be really happy with this season.
Yeah. And somebody that's seen the Los Angeles finals, all I'll say is just wait till that you see that course. It is amazing.
Okay, and speaking of the obstacles, they have announced an obstacle design contest, like seemingly out of nowhere. I had no idea this was coming. So if you think you know how to design an obstacle better than they do, it's time to give it a shot. You can send in your suggested obstacles, and it could be featured on next season. That is a fantastic idea.
Oh, I agree. Especially the ones that they had up there as kind of like editors' picks. Like, those look brutal.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what they're looking for necessarily. So, I mean, of course, they're looking for some challenging obstacles, but I'm going to take a hand at this. There's no way I can't at least make an attempt to come up with some kind of obstacle. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what comes out of it.
Yeah. And if you make anything, definitely let us know, because I'm always interested to hear new ideas for obstacles. I think that's kind of one of the fun aspects of the whole sport.
And the next thing we wanted to bring up was this Lego Ninjago A&W crossover video that came out with little Lego versions of the Wolfpack and Kevin Bull and Lance Pekus and the hosts of the show. It was actually really, really cute.
Yeah, that was certainly something, especially the people chosen, Lance Pekus and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. It was funny, though. I liked it. It was cute.
Yeah, it was a little surprising they didn't go with the Casey Catanzaro angle, but I think they kind of picked more iconic, like where, you actually come to think of it, where was the Captain NBC? Come on, how could you not have Captain NBC for that?
That kind of just like writes itself, doesn't it?
It does. Like, how easy is that to make a little Lego version of him?
I don't know. Maybe Lego didn't want to promote NBC too much.
Yeah, maybe. So that's really cute. We'll have a link to that if you want to check it out. They've done the Lego thing before. I wish they would just make a Lego set. Like, because I would totally buy an American Ninja Warrior Lego set.
Screw Legos, man. What about the action figures? Like old school WWE action figures with the course. That'd be awesome.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Right? Like that's what I want to have.
Yeah, we got to make that happen. And I warned you, there was a ton of content this week. So the next things we have to cover, we're going to have to do a little quickly. They have some new videos coming out from the show. Digital exclusives, they're calling them. They've got Crashing the Course and 24 Before. Crashing the Course is like a behind-the-scenes look at some of the obstacles and where they came from and the design process and everything, which was really cool to see. What did you think of it?
Yeah, it was interesting and everything. I think if they keep it a little bit shorter for that particular series, it can get really good. It can be a really good thing. I really like how they have this guy, kind of showing off some of the newer obstacles and how it was just a precedence of how it was created. And I really like how they showed kind of like prototypes of the TikTok and how it could have been 2 different ones, but it was too hard. And that was really cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It wasn't as engaging as the second one, though. No. And the second one was really a neat idea they've got. So this 24 Before is like a vlog from one of the ninjas. So in this case, they used Natalie Duran. And we get like the day in the life on the day that they're actually going to run the course. So I really appreciate it. I thought that was really good.
I really appreciated it. As somebody that's an athlete themselves, I really can attest to the kind of like the feel of what goes through just your you psychologically and everything of the preparation right before it. There's a lot that goes through a person's mind right before these big events. It's really taxing on not just your body, but on your mind, because it's pretty much all you can think about, and every aspect of it is just running throughout your mind the entire day. And it's really cool seeing, the preparation involved and just everything. And I think it can be a really exciting series. I'm really interested to see which ninjas they particularly choose to do this series with. It all around, I'm really happy about this thing.
Yeah, Natalie was an interesting choice. It makes sense, right? Because she did the YouTube channel and whatnot before. So
yeah, she has experience in this field.
Yeah, so maybe that's why it was so engaging, because she's just good at it. I hope they pick some people have the great energy that she has, and we'll get to see more of that from each city.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So thank you for tuning in once again this week. I hope you'll stick with us as we continue on through the season. We've had a lot of fun recording tonight. We've got a whole season ahead of us. If you're looking to train for the show, if you are one of those ninja athletes, or if you'd like to start, come by our website. That's ninjapodcast.com. Click on the link for Atomic Climbing Holds and use our discount code of podcast to save yourself 10% off getting your own home course built. So if you'd like to reach out to us, you have 100 different ways to do it. You can reach us on our website. That's ninjapodcast.com. You can email us at rich@ninjapodcast.com. We are on Facebook and Twitter. That's at Ninja Podcast. And Bijan actually wanted to shout out his Twitter account this time. What do you got?
Yeah, I'll rise it from the depths of the dead. I'm gonna interact with people and follow everybody on Twitter as well with the show and everything. You can find me at Bijan151. That is BIJAN 151. Hit me up on Twitter.
That's great. I get some company on Twitter now. So once again, thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a great week.
Peace and love, y'all.